Hi everyone, Scott with CyberScribe.org, and in this video I'm just going to be showing you some basic configuration commands for the switch. These aren't too in-depth or anything, but these are going to be the commands that when you're setting up routers and switches, you're going to be using these commands over and over and over again. So I just thought I'd give you a couple minutes of these commands that you're going to be doing a lot. So let's just get into it. This is the switch video, so in the next one I'm just going to be setting up for the router. It'd be a little bit different, but again, you're going to be working with routers and switches most of the time. So we are in the privileged exec mode now, but we need to go into global config, and let's change the host name. Okay. And just password encryption, so this will take your plain text passwords in your running config and just make it into a string of numbers. Just a light encryption there, just so people can't see over your shoulder what your passwords are. No IP domain lookup is it's not going to resolve spelling errors. So if you're in privileged exec mode and you spell something wrong, it's going to try to resolve it like you actually typed in google.com or something, but that's what that's going to do. It's not going to try to find that stuff. And the default gateway is going to be the router, and that's the IP's address right there. Let's give this one an IP address too. So your VLAN 1, that's your default for this. And remember the subnet mask too. Okay, so now it has an IP address. So if that computer wanted to ping, it could ping the switch, and the switch could ping the computer back. And if the router wanted to ping, it could ping the switch as well with that IP address. Without it, you can't ping because there's no place to send it to, no address. So that's what that did there. And enable secret class. Whoops, we need to get to exit out of this. Okay. Okay, you can also do enable password class, but that's going to put it into plain text in the running config. Now let's go into the console line. Let's do a couple commands here. Remember, you have to put the login, so it'll prompt for that password on the login. Logging synchronous is going to clean up your console messages, and it'll rewrite the commands that you started doing when it interrupted you, so that's a good one to have. No exec timeout. If you're working on multiple, like say you're working on a router and a switch, and you're going from back and forth from one to the other, you're not going to time out. You're not going to have to put your passwords back in with this. So not really good for production, but if you're just doing this for testing and you find it kind of a pain in the ass to be putting your passwords in every couple minutes when you move from one to the other, no exec timeout, that's what you want. Now let's go to the remote lines. Those are the VTY lines. We're just going to put in a password here and then make sure we have the login, and so it prompts you. And we'll take you back to privileged exec mode, and let's just do a show run. See if we have everything. Okay, we changed the host name. I'll just go through. Okay, we have a secret password there. That is for privileged exec mode. No IP domain lookup. Okay, the other things are just the defaults. You have a IP address, that's your IP address for the switch. So now you can ping from the router or the PC to this switch. Good for troubleshooting. IP default gateway, that's going to be the router. And see that is the password. It's encrypted. That's not what the password really is. So that was the whole point of service password encryption. You have your logging synchronous and your exec timeouts there. And with the VTY, because it's remote, you don't want too many of the you don't want the timeouts on that on the remote lines. And log in, and that's going to prompt you, and that is it. And that's it. Pretty simple, pretty short, but these commands that you're going to be doing that I just showed you here, you're going to be using them all the time. So I just wanted to show you really quick how that works, and that's it. That's all I have. The next video I'm going to be doing the same thing, but I'm going to be doing it on the router. Most of the commands will be the same. A couple will be different, so you might want to take a look at that one too.